Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of... Wait, what podcast is this again? Squirrelies? No. Squat. This isn't Squirrelies, this is Scrollies. Welcome back to Scrollies.
Scrollies podcast.
This is Scrollies, of course, where you can even have your mom listen to this. Unless, there might be a time where I tell mom to, hey, turn down the podcast. But it's me, Ratnado, Team Ratnado of twitch.tv/Team Ratnado. I'm here with the co-host with the most.
Squat of the Scrollies podcast. Only Scrollies.
Squirrelies makes us a lot of money, whereas Scrollies, we're just losing money.
We have very few, very generous patrons of the Squirrelies podcast, and they come looking for one thing that we provide very well.
Squirrelies is fronting all of the cost for Scrollies at the moment, so...
Scrollies is the passion project. Squirrelies is the grind.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, what's up? Welcome back. You're listening to this. You're on your phone. Maybe you're on drive to work. I hope it's okay. We promise to never put any traffic sounds in here. No police. That is a Scrollies guarantee.
No honking horns. I hate it when that happens in like music or videos that I'm listening to. I'm just like, oh wait, where? Oh, it's not real. You got me.
But we may put in like the Sonic drowning music that might go in here. So
the anxiety is ramping up. Oh no. Oh.
Well, we're back with another episode of Scrollies. We're going to talk about something that I might be looked down upon for this because I actually do kind of enjoy them. There's a lot of them that I've played. I wouldn't say I'm the expert on them, but Squad also, this is a topic that he has some experience with, and actually he's got a lot of passion for. Before we started recording, man, he was letting the expletives fly.
Yeah, I have to self-censor because we're now in clean mode. No more explicits.
Free-to-play games. What a concept.
Oh,
Well, first of all, before we get into that, Mr. Cobbler, Squatty Cobbs, Squatimus, what you playing?
Well, I'll tell you what, not much, but over on a small up-and-coming streaming platform called the Shraxa Discord, Chunky Cat bullied me into playing Ori and the Blind Forest. So I guess by the time you're hearing this, I'm done with it. Don't ever ask me to stream anything there again, because I definitely won't. There's no way. Don't be expecting anything on Sundays, everyone. I'm telling you, it's not happening. It was a one and done only.
Oh, I heard that they're trying to get Ninja for Shraxa's Discord stream.
Let me tell you, you just gotta draw in the big dogs, and the rest will follow. You got your Dr. Disrespect, your Ninja, all of Twitch's cast outs and your SqatCobblrs, of course.
Shrax is paying big money to get them to come over.
Yeah. A real startup right there on the Shraxa Discord. No, I'm playing Ori. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. It might have even been episode 1. I said Ori is my prime floating cloud of a 2D side scrolly that I'd recommend perhaps a naysayer to give a try, because it's got a great story. It's got some really cool abilities, really big sad moments throughout, and beautiful music. So Ori's got it all. Just make sure you got your tissues or your Q-tips close if you're out of tissues.
Which we all are these days, everybody. I hope you're keeping your nose clean. It's allergen season. It's dusty, it's windy out there, so stay safe. And if you're gonna cry anyways, if you're gonna have something there, just go play Ori. Why not?
Yeah, you'll stop crying about whatever you were crying about, and you'll cry about Ori instead.
I do remember that was the first when Shraxa rated Ada. Shout out Ada Rose X.
Ada Rose X. I think there's a Z in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look in Shrax's chat. She's probably looking.
Yeah, exactly.
But the story behind that was back when Shraxa had her very short run of a game redeem in her channel points. I selected it, and I was like, what can I ask for? Can I ask for anything? And Trex is like, well, I have like these Switch games, and then anything on Game Pass you can ask for. So I was looking through. I'm like, oh man, there's so much good stuff here. I can ask for this. I can ask for that. I can ask for Monkey Switch Online. But I was like, no, I'll save that for when Mooncat starts streaming. However many months from then.
Right.
So what I asked for was New Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
But I highly considered asking for Ori at one point. I figured Traxa would dig New Super Lucky's Tale a little more because it's less big sad. It's more cute animal.
Yeah.
However, I did still want to, I guess, show her Ori. So when we were looking for a raid, I was like, oh, here, raid this person. She's playing Ori. And I think that was the one and only time she ever played it. So we had a very own Code Synth situation over on the Traxa channel.
That whole situation is just like the biggest coincidence ever because Traxa would never play Super Lucky's Tale again. She would never have a redeem again. Ada would never have. She would just play Call of Duty from then on.
Apex, I think, but yes.
Or Apex now, yeah. I've seen her on Call of Duty, I think. And none of them do those things ever again anymore.
Isn't Twitch great? Isn't it crazy how you meet people in such a very short window of time that you have the opportunity to meet them? Otherwise, you never would have found them.
You never, yeah. Oh man. And if Squat didn't do that audio, we never would have met you because we would have never met Code. He's nodding his head.
I mean, you can say yes. You don't have to say anything except yes. Audio. He's giving thumbs up now. Okay, we're just gonna move on.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I remember, I think in episode 1, I said I might give that a try. I haven't yet. I do want to. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't yet.
Well, hey, I'd say I'd give Persona 5 a try in episode 2, and I have not yet. So, no shame.
That's if you ever get PS5 guys PS5.
Well, I got it on PS4.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been when he shed the mantle of that PS4 guy, I received the leftover PS4 hand-me-downs.
Right.
His sloppy seconds.
When he ascended.
Indeed. Ratnado, what have you been playing?
I'm almost a little bit embarrassed to say. I've been back into Age of Calamity.
Wow. Man, you've 100%ed. What's there left to do?
I know. I want to get everyone to level 100. There's some new DLC stuff now too, though.
That's how they get you. They just wait. They wait a full year, and they just drop something. So you're like, well, I guess I'm not 100% anymore.
I know. Well, wait, was it 2021? No, it was 2020. I thought that it came out, and then DLC a year, and then a little bit more. Finally, the whole game is complete. I've been playing that. I've been salivating at the thought of Three Hopes, Fire Emblem Three Hopes, that comes out in a couple of weeks, and Muso, and I've also been trying to finish Three Houses. So just getting geared up for that. Super excited. I'll probably 100% that game as well because I love Fire Emblem Warriors, and Fire Emblem Three Hopes should be good.
All right. Well, I know you've said great things about Fire Emblem Warriors, having never played a Fire Emblem game before playing that. It's says a lot. Maybe one day I'll like Ike enough to give it a try.
They didn't get Ike in it though. That's the only downside.
Oh, well, then never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't really have. Well, Lucina and Chrom.
Who cares about them? We like Ike.
Yeah, but I'm saying
he fights for his friends.
He does fight for his friends. But I'm just saying, like...
You'll get no sympathy from me.
Well, we're not talking about paid games. We're not talking about games that you pay for. We're talking about the endless world of microtransactions and quote-unquote free.
Oh my gosh, the air quotes. The air quotes are swallowing me up. They're huge. They're so huge.
But they'll go away for $5.99 a month.
Oh, well, in that case, here. Oh, there we go. Let me get my credit card out. Free to play. Ratnado, you said you've had some experience here. I've had some experience here.
Yeah.
What kind of free to play games have you delved into?
Oh my goodness. I was once a poor boy. And so I was really into RuneScape for a long time. That's a free to play before there was such a thing. a bunch of content locked behind paying money. But as a 12-year-old, you don't have a lot of income, and especially not a credit card. So by default, kind of just locked out of that. I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I'm a Fortnite guy. I like Fortnite. Also, Genshin Impact, played a little bit of that. Also technically free to play, though, you do have to pay. You get the best experience when you pay some money. And then gacha games, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, Pokemon Go. I've actually played a pretty good handful of free games.
Well, there you go. I gotta say, no Fortnite hate here. I've never played it. I never want to play it. But thanks to all the money it's made Epic Games, I get a bunch of free games every week. So thanks, Fortnite.
Thank you, Fortnite. And yeah, I think that free-to-play games, it's very interesting. I think there's a lot of philosophies, and I think the mind you go into it makes up a lot of how you feel about them, and then also what a free-to-play game is to you. But first, Squat, what about you? Do you have any free-to-play experience?
I have quite a bit of free-to-play experience in the mobile gaming world. I know. Shocks and awe. Yeah, it's a reality. Middle school Squat, he had his iPod Touch. He went through the App Store and got all kinds of quote-unquote free games that weren't really. Jetpack Joyride.
Oh man!
I think even Angry Birds worked in microtransactions at a point. Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope. I mean, I'm just naming all the classics, but it's just a reality when you're a kid. I think you said when you were 12 you had no money, but hey, if you have $20 and you go to the store, you can get an iTunes gift card, and that's basically money.
That's true.
You can just funnel into your games. So that was my hack until I was eligible to actually open a bank account, and then realized it was probably a bad idea to keep paying for these games, microtransactions.
Oh my god! Well, your experience on that is a little different than mine. There was no such thing as an iPod Touch when I was in middle school or high school, for that matter.
What? Oh, you're talking about the iPod Nano.
Yeah, that's the. No, I think I had the 30 gigabyte iPod Video, and that was like, whoa!
Wow.
And I saved up for a long time for that.
You can watch all your QuickTimes on there.
I did have some movies. I'm pretty proud. That was pretty cool. That's how I actually, because this was in college, that's how I got all the girls. I would just like, hey, you want to watch Superbad on my iPod? And they didn't, but they liked my courage.
A for effort.
A for effort.
This little off note, I remember when iPads first came out and thought they were like the dumbest thing ever, because you're like, who would like go on a jog with a like huge thing?
Yeah.
Like it's not portable at all. And it's like, oh wait, it's for office work and stuff like that.
Yeah. It is kind of funny how ridiculous we all thought it is, but now it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't buy one, but I get why people like them.
I would have bet all on red and lost if if I was predicting the success of the iPad. So yeah. So mobile games are mostly my experience with the free-to-play world. Console, not so much for reasons I'll get into, but I'll just say it. I think the success of the free-to-play marketing scheme is one of the worst travesties to ever occur in gaming, because it leaked out from just the free-to-play games, and it now infects any and every game, paid, otherwise, subscriptions. Just, I think it all comes back to microtransactions being a unqualified success. In the early 2010s.
Yeah, I 100%. I remember a time before that. I remember when DLC was looked at as like, oh, what a ripoff, and now to see all these transactions that we have now, kind of insane. I remember specifically too that just like mobile gaming was kind of cool when I first, like, it was like 2010, 2011, I got back and I saw what everyone was playing. You had like Monument Valley, you had, I don't know, a lot of just like really interesting games that were games. They were actual like experiences that you could play on the go, and they were great. And then I think it might have been like Angry Birds or something, right? Comes out and kind of just blows up and changes the idea. Now phone games are for everybody, and not that they shouldn't be, but they became something different, and then they became monetizable.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, I think, the idea of carrying around a portable gaming console, not a new concept at all, like the Game Boy, the Sega Game Gear.
Whoa. Color.
Hey, there's an easier way to get color. Get a Game Gear, the full color portable with over 150 games.
All these things existed for a long, long time, but your phone? I mean, you're going to have your phone no matter what. You have to, like, intentionally take out your gaming console, portable or otherwise. If you have your phone with you and you have games on it, then by all means, you're on the subway, you're on the bus, you're riding passenger in a car, folks. Let's stay safe out there. You can just play whatever. Remember one of the first apps on McButcher's, probably first gen or second gen iPod Touch, was it was like a lightsaber app that it was like tied to the Force Unleashed game.
Yeah.
And it was so cool to just wave that around and hear it make the lightsaber noises. And little did we know what awaited us. I think another one I can remember from McButcher's iPod was Light Bike, which was like a Tron ripoff.
Yeah.
Light Bike was I think that was free to play. Yeah, that was fun.
What it was such a different landscape back then. And does anybody else remember the freaking like gun and the lighter apps and like what in the world? It used to be so simple.
It's just the novelty of it. It's like, oh look, it's on my phone, and oh there it is. I remember a big one I was a fan of on my first iPod was I forget what it was called, like Total Carnage or something. But basically you just destroyed bugs, and there was like all these different weapons, and you just like kill bugs with it. And I played that for like hours.
Hopefully Sibylla isn't listening to this.
I'm sorry. I'm still I refuse to make my stance known, but I have murdered thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of virtual bugs.
I was gonna say. Oh no. Oh man. It's so true though. I think okay, and then this leads into this. I didn't get a smartphone. Oh my god. I didn't get a smartphone until 2013.
Aw. I mean, same probably.
Oh, okay. I thought that was really late because
I was rocking the flip phone and iPod Touch duo for a good several years. I think up until probably up through my freshman year of high school.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it changed. That really did change a lot. And I can't remember if it was like earlier. I might be going too soon, but I remember I got really into Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Naturally.
Yeah, and it was really good. And then I dumped probably like $200 into that game. And it was just like, oh, I'll put in $10 here, put it there, and that was over the course of like 2 years.
That's how they get you. Let's circle back to microtransactions. I mean, hey, it's free, but you can just save a little time here and there by paying a little.
This is what I'll say. I don't regret it because I now have one of my favorite Final Fantasy game characters now, and it's real. It's canon. Ariana Grande. She's in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And I got her.
I'm surprised that's not your profile picture. She must be third on the list of Ariana Grande, Aerith Cloud.
Yeah, no, I tried it and they copyright striked me.
You hate to hear it.
Very litigious.
Well, Ratnado, does the fact that you spent $200 in this game perhaps make you question whether or not you should have just paid full price for this app game?
Well, that's a gacha. So there really wasn't a way to just buy it outright, I guess. But the whole concept of free to play was like, technically, you didn't have to spend money because there was a chance, however minuscule it was, there was a 0.03% chance of getting Ariana Grande. And, with those kind of numbers, I would have only had to grinded the game for 2 years in order to spend all those to for sure get her.
It's a statistical certainty at that point.
At that point, yeah, exactly. And so when you're getting to a tiny fraction of a percentage, it's just like, yeah, okay, you're not lying. It is free to play, but come on.
All jokes aside, I think this is my main issue with the free to play model is that, yeah, in theory, you don't have to ever spend a cent, but we're talking like the grind will last years.
Yeah. Yep.
And for what? Like a character, a costume, a weapon, like maybe even just cosmetics. Nothing is really gonna change anything.
Yeah.
And hey, for an app, if that's how you want to spend your time, by all means. But I feel as though this model has leaked into actual, real, full price games.
Yep.
None more so apparent than Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Woo!
Yeah, that's one that I know they've done a lot of work since then to undo the effects. But what was it? The infamous comment when they were called out for having loot boxes that you needed to spend.
Oh boy.
Probably hundreds of hours in order to unlock in-game or otherwise shell out for, and it wasn't even like a guaranteed. It was a random loot box to maybe unlock Darth Vader. What was it they said in defense of that? It gives a sense of pride and accomplishment.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about the whole system, and one of their reps goes on and says the intent is to create a sense of pride and accomplishment. When it's like, bro, exactly, like, I know this isn't probably your decision, but the whole idea behind this is like, yeah, you could grind 40 hours to unlock Vader and all of his abilities, or you could spend a little cash over here and, you don't have to do all that.
Those conniving, greedy, I'm not even going to say the developers. I'm sure the developers were just doing what they were told. But the publishers, what the heck?
Yeah.
Why you got to do us like this? Why you got to do us dirty? And honestly, it's this attitude, and I know Star Wars Battlefront 2 had enough backlash that they eventually rescinded that and made it a lot more accessible and easy to unlock characters. But
yeah,
in far more games that don't have that kind of backlash, nothing changes. And yeah, you either got to grind or you got to pay. And at that point, what's the point? Yeah. So you're just paying multiple times over for the same game that you've already bought. So it's not even like it's free to play. It's just pay and then pay again.
Well, I think that in the case of Battlefront 2, it was so egregious, and also what they did is make you buy the game at full price and then say, here's a system on top of it. And that's kind of, for me, one of the big splits in between what I think is okay and what isn't. If Star Wars Battlefront 2 had came out today and they said, hey, it's totally free, but there is this loot box system, I can almost be okay with it. Here's a full free game, a whole single player campaign, and there's this thing. I mean, I still wouldn't be happy, but I can almost understand in that case. But to charge me full price, MSRP for a game, and then to charge me like that is just like, oh boy, come on.
I think Destiny 2 did exactly what you just described, and I can attest, not through my own experience, but through the experience of Esquire, that you can play that game without ever spending a dime. Up to a point.
Well, when you've got to put every cent you own into stock, that's appealing.
Esquire, he invests in Robinhood, and he gets the most out of every game he buys, plays it to 100%, or otherwise to the point that he can't play it without spending money. Esquire
from space has paid us money to advertise his Robinhood referral link.
Yeah, it's going to be down in the podcast description. If you sign up, you'll get 10% off on Xenomorph stock. You want to get on the ground floor. But
yeah, and that's so. Having said that, for example, I'll give an example of a game that I do really like, and the reasons I like it are probably not not universal for everybody, but Fortnite.
Sure.
I actually enjoy Fortnite because I love how easy it is for people to play. Like I have tons of friends that are just like, yeah, I have a phone, I can jump on. Yeah, I have a Switch, I can join you. And it really facilitates just like, there's no cost to entry. Just download it and come hang out. And then a lot of the skins, honestly, if I'm being honest, I've probably spent definitely more than $500 on Fortnite.
Well, hey, I mean, like I said before, no hate to Fortnite. It's gotten me a lot of free actual games through Epic, so thank you for being a small contributor to that. I'd agree. I haven't played it, but I think that is the best model for it. One, make it available on everything. If it's a co-op game or a competitive game, make it cross-platform so you can play with your friends no matter what they have it on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Rocket League did the same thing at a point. They went free to play, and now you can just play it on whatever, with whoever, and pay a little more if you want your skins or if you want your boosts. I don't know how Rocket League works. I think there's boots. I don't know if you have to pay for them or not. But yeah, it's not really something at this point in time that I seek out. Free to play games. If anything, it'll be a game that I already have goes free to play, and then it's like, well, I mean, I guess I spent money on it, but it's also like, old now, so oh well. At least there's more people now, and there's a larger player base than there was. I think StarCraft 2 that happened too. Now, all this being said, where does it go from here? Does the future of DLC, of microtransactions, mean that these games are free from the start, or does it mean that they're going to be built with this model of incentive in mind, that it's going to give you a little sampling, just a little wet your palate, but then that's when it happens and you got to fork out your credit card, your wallet, your iTunes gift cards. Even
here's what I think, having seen it from the very start, I guess you we're mostly there, but just see how it's gone from here's a full game, you paid your $60 and here's the whole game, and that's how it's going to exist forever, and then to adding on DLC, to things like downloading horse armor in Morrowind or whatever, and then there's the monthly fees, and then there's battle passes, and then there's I think that publishers are going to just keep slowly pushing it and seeing what they can get away with. I think luckily people stood up and said no to Star Wars Battlefront 2, that it definitely was like, nope, this is it, this is the line, you cannot go past this line. Will it get better? I don't know, but I think it's definitely, I think in 10 years, if we're all still here and we're all still playing video games, I think it's just going to be, they'll have figured out some new way, but it's going to be extracting tons of money from us.
I would agree. I think DLC, cosmetics, that's a whole different discussion, but the free-to-play model is here to stay. I think I can optimistically say that what's going to happen going forward is that accessibility, availability on any number of platforms and systems is going to increase, and crossplay will be a much more common occurrence, to where you don't have to play just with your group of friends that have the same system as you, but you can play with any friend who owns anything. But nothing's free in life, folks. I think the sooner you learn that, the sooner you can save yourself a few bucks. These companies, they want to make money, and they're not just they're not running a charity here. They're here to make a profit off you. So I'd agree. I think it's going to change, and it's going to change in a way that you're going to be paying more for less, if that makes sense.
Actually, I just had an idea. This is quality content that we're creating here, SqatCobblr. Really good, really interesting stuff, really funny. And I think that, microtransactions and the like, the free-to-play model is great for creators. And that's why today we're announcing the Scrollies Battle Pass. For only $10 a month, you too can get specific skins to wear while you listen to the podcast.
What's that? I hear so many apps closing out right now. What? Come back, everyone. Okay, well, hey, for those of you that are still here, if you want to sign up for the Scrollies membership club, you can listen to the last 10 minutes of this podcast.
All right.
We'll see you over there, and go.
Well, I think this is a topic we want to talk on more right now, but I got to do some research, to be honest. I got to think about it. There's a lot of stuff out there, and if you yourself have a free game that you like to play, what is your reason? What makes you want to play it? Is there something that makes you want to spend money? I know, for example, for me, for Fortnite, it's like every couple months I'll be like, oh, I'll drop $20-$30, and I like these skins, and they put Chun-Li in here, and now there's the Xenomorph here, and I want the Xenomorph in Ghostbusters. And, I don't mind it. I've never felt like, oh, I can't believe I spent that money. I've never been like that, because it's a fun time.
I think there is a larger discussion to have here, especially in regards to DLC, to expansions. Well, we'll come back at you with a part 2, perhaps. But for what it's worth, I think, hey, people are free to spend their money how they choose, and if you feel like you're still getting enjoyment out of a game, and you gotta give a few bucks to get that, then yeah, by all means.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out, everybody. I hope that you had a lot of thought-provoking ideas, and for real, let us know. Come to the Discord. We'll talk about it for part 2. If anyone has any interesting ideas or thoughts, I'd love to hear them, because I guess I'm not against the idea of free-to-play when 10, 15 years ago, I was very much against the idea of like microtransactions. And, hey, maybe I'm just out of touch. But thanks for coming to hang out, everybody. As always, who am I? Team Ratnado at twitch.tv/Team Ratnado. And you can come check me out on my stream and hang out. I'm trying to finish up Stranger of Paradise and Final Fantasy 6 and 4 before moving on to some Devil May Cry.
And who am I? SqatCobblr of the Scrollies podcast. And of the Shraxa Discord voice channel.
Yeah, there's no direct link to that. You just have to join the Discord.
Yeah, it's for the elites.
All right. Well, we'll see you all later. Bye.
See ya.